Hi, so for the next few videos, I've set up a repository on GitHub that has some branches that are specially set up so that will end up in certain situations that are important to know about but can be kind of hard to derive if you're not really trying to. And so the way that I recommend you follow along is you go to this URL, which will be in the description. You click this fork button if you have a GitHub account, and then it'll ask you if you want to fork it. Just hit yes, and then there will be a loading screen. And after that loading screen finishes, you can click on this clone or download, copy this URL, and then go to your terminal and type git clone, and then paste that URL. And your URL will be a little different. Your username will be here instead of mine. And then that'll clone my Git repository, and it'll make it so that you can follow along, and you'll be able to push, and you'll be able to work with your own repository. If you don't have a GitHub account, that's okay too. What you can do is you can just clone my repository and you can follow along, you just won't be able to push at all. And so that's how these next few videos will be working. So once you have that done, pause this video and then do all that and then come back. Okay, so now that you have the repository downloaded or are otherwise ready to follow along, let's just dive right into it. So when you clone a new repository, Git will put you on the default branch, which in this case is master, and we'll see we're on branch master. Branch is up to date with origin master. We're going to talk about that more in another video, not right now, so don't worry about it. Nothing to commit, working tree clean. So really quickly, let's just git log, and let's just look at file 1. So file 1 just says this is file 1, and then it says this file isn't particularly interesting and it never will be. Well, let me undo that change. And then if we git show master, we'll see that the latest commit, so the first commit adds file 1 with this contents, and then the latest, or with this contents, and then the latest commit removes this line and it adds this line. So I've sort of contrived this situation where we'll end up with a merge commit. So in order to cause that to happen, let's check out the vid3 merging branch, and let's run git status just to show that we're on the branch, and git log. So we'll see git log is different actually here. So we have the same initial commit, but we have different, the last commit's different. And another way to show this a little better is git log --one line --graph --branches, and then this takes a shell glob. So master splat, we're gonna do vid3 splat. Oh, we need an equal sign, sorry. And this gives us a graph of what our git history looks like for those two branches. So we have the same initial commit, and you can see that with this star, and then it branches off here, and you can tell that because there's two different lines going off. So one line goes up here to this commit, and the other line goes over here to this commit. And so the master branch is here, and the video3 merging branch is here. And what we want to do is we want to merge them back together on master. And so when I talked about merging in the last video, I talked about fast forwarding. In this video, this is going to show how the merge commits work. And you can tell that again because the commits have the same initial commit, but they each diverge. So let's git show the branch that we're on just so that we can show the difference. So this one removes this line and it says this file isn't particularly interesting, but I think it could be. And if we remember, master says it will never be. And in fact, we can probably see how this might cause a merge commit or merge conflict, right? Because we both edit the same line and we edit them to be different. And so let's check out, or let's diff against master. Diff master. Yeah, and you can see here this looks like it could cause problems. And so let's check out master, and let's merge video 3 onto master, and of course we get a it says it's auto merging, and then it says, oh, we have a conflict, and the conflict is on the contents of file 1. Then it says the automatic merge failed, fix conflicts, and then commit result. So this is merge conflicts are one of the few things that you sort of have to intervene with Git. Git is generally very, very smart, and it can often figure out what you want to do, and it's often able to merge things in smart ways because it looks at things line by line, right? So you can have two commits, two branches that manipulate the same file, as long as they're in different lines and Git doesn't get confused about what lines they're editing, it'll merge them without causing a conflict, and it'll do the right thing almost always. So after this happens, I always run git status, because git status sort of gives me a more obvious view than this does. And you'll see right here that it says file 1, both of them have modified file 1. So that means both of our parent commits, so the master branch and the vid3 merging branch, those parent commits both modified file 1. And so it tells us actually what to do. We have unmerged paths, fix conflicts, and run git commit. Use git merge -- abort to abort the merge. Unmerged paths, use git add file to mark the resolution. So this is important. I'm not going to run git merge -- abort. Actually, no, I will. Git merge -- abort. And once we run that, if we run git status, we're on master as it was before, and it's like we never ran that git merge command. And so let's run the merge again, vid3 merging, and it'll put us in the same state. And we can see that with git status. And so let's edit the file. And so this is what a merge conflict looks like. And I think this is where most people get confused, because this is kind of intimidating. But what this is saying is the changes from these equal signs down to this vid3 merging are the changes in the vid3 merging branch. And they conflict with the changes here that are at head. And if you remember, head just points to master right now because we're on our master branch. And so you can the way that you resolve this is you delete any files that you, or any lines, or you edit it how you think you edit it to be how you think the file should be after the merge. And so obviously you're going to want to delete that the arrows, because those are just like contents that are sort of meta to Git. They don't mean anything in our file. And now we need to figure out how we want to edit this to merge it. And so we can just merge the lines together by doing something like this. We can just say, and it will never be, comma, but I think it could be, and then we can delete the line above. So now we've put the file in the state that we want it to be after the merge, right? So the file is, we're ready to continue with the merge. And so if we look at git status again, it hasn't actually changed, and that's because we need to do this. It says unmerged paths, use git add file to mark resolution. So when you git add file and then you run git status again, now it says, okay, the file has been changed. It's been marked as ready for the merge to continue, and now you use git commit to finish the merge. So we run git commit, and this is creating the merge commit. So it's saying we're merging branch vid3 merging, and that's being merged onto master branch. If you want, you could add some extra stuff here. So you could say this was made to give an example about how to resolve merge conflicts. And now if we look at git log, we'll see that master is up here and vid3 merging is still down here, and this is where master was before. And we can run our log --1 line, and this actually gives us a pretty cool view, right? Because we can see again our commits, and we can see that they diverge, and then we can see them come back together into a single commit, and that's where master is. And that that commit has the commit message that it's a merge commit. And here we can see the extra stuff that we added to the commit message. And we can also see that the merge tells us what hashes merged. So this, as you can see, is the first few digits of this. This is the first few digits of this. And then they merge here. Cool. So that's actually all I wanted to talk about in this video. Merge conflicts are something that trip people up a lot, so I wanted to dedicate a whole video to it. I recommend that you maybe try to contrive a little more, a few more merge conflicts, and try merge them in the way that you think makes sense. Play around. Again, it's very important to play with Git in order to learn Git. It's very, very difficult to learn Git from just watching someone else do it. I could never do it. And everybody that I've talked to has said that that's very, very difficult. So I recommend that you play with it. So after you play with that for a bit, in the next video we're going to talk about remotes and sort of how you have multiple sort of states of a repository, and you have a centralized repository that everybody accesses, and how that all works and how you manage that when you're working on your code. So join me next time on that when you're ready.